Okay, cool. My name is Geraldo Alvarado. Today I will be discussing why we shouldn't raise taxes on casinos in order to better fund education. So here are my flashcards. I have 12 of them, and then we'll do roll call.
Oh, 1,
2, 3,
4, 5, 6,
7,
8,
9.
10.
Okay, so according to a 2019 issue of the Las Vegas Review-Journal, the Clark County School District spent over $50,000 investigating one of its assistant superintendents for discrimination. During this time, the assistant superintendent was not allowed to come to work. However, he was still allowed to collect his salary of $291,655 and benefits. The investigation has since been stopped, and its findings were inconclusive. However, the matter will now head to court where you can expect the school district to spend more money. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a clear example of how school districts across Nevada mismanage their taxpayer budgets mismanage their taxpayer-funded budgets. Now, I know that it's in everyone's best interest that our students receive a proper education. However, we cannot ignore the egregious mishandling of taxpayer funds by school district administrators. Think about it for a minute. What good does it do? What good does it do for the school districts to raise taxes if it's not going to benefit teachers, the school district, or the students? Before I go any further, I'd like to give you some background on the subject. There have been arguments put forth that Nevada should raise taxes in order to better fund education. One of the biggest proponents of this is the Clark County's Board of Trustees. According to an article written by the Nevada Journal, dialogue between the Clark County Commission and the Clark County School of Trustees has begun in order to discuss benefits of raising sales tax. The author describes that the committee chair, Marilyn Kirkpatrick, would like to see the money go to performance-based incentives to bolster adult education and pre-K education, and emphasizes that this increase will only be 0.25%. Despite such viewpoints, I'm here today to convince you that Nevada should not increase taxes, should not raise taxes on casinos in order to better fund schools. Now, if you look behind me, I'd like to show you a picture. This is a picture of Assistant Superintendent Edward Goldman. Mr. Goldman is the superintendent that was suspended by the Clark County School Board. Next time you hear that the district ask you or businesses for a small tax raise, remember that the Clark County School District paid him almost $300,000 to stay home. Now I will go to my main points. To begin, I'll advise you why raising taxes on casinos would devastate the state economy. I'll also explain how administrations across the state have a history of mismanaging school districts. Finally, I'll show you that taxes placed on other businesses to help school districts have failed to do so, or help to do just that. Let's start by looking at my first point, where I'll show you that increasing taxes on casinos would devastate the state economy. To begin, the Nevada Gaming Control Board indicates that gaming revenue statewide is down. Statewide revenue is down 1.8%. However, strip casinos have reported a decrease of 3.5%. Therefore, placing a tax on casinos would hurt the industry. In addition, MGM Resorts International reported in a recent press release that they had to conduct 2 rounds of layoffs. They reported that they have been negatively affected by changes in the Las Vegas market. And when you think about it, casinos are one of the biggest employers in the state. Therefore, a student's parents or guardian are most likely employed by casinos. They too would be negatively affected if their parents did not have an income because they were laid off. Another reason would be that school districts, or the Nevada schools districts, have a history of mismanagement. First, police agencies across the state have already have arrested and charged several school district administrators with crimes. Recently, News 13 reported that a Clark High School student was inappropriately touched by a female teacher. The teacher has since been arrested and is facing disciplinary action. This is indicative of poor hiring practices as well as poor oversight. Additionally, the Clark County School District, one of the largest school districts in Nevada, is embroiled in infighting and lawsuits. The Las Vegas Review-Journal reported that 170 deans whose jobs were recently eliminated are now suing the school district to change that. This is indicative of a dysfunctional school district. My final point is that taxes placed on other businesses have failed to help state schools. In fact, Nevada schools currently enjoy additional funding by a tax levied on recreational marijuana. According to the Department of Taxation, this tax has brought in over $27 million for schools. However, infighting between districts in the state has delayed its distribution. Also, in 2018, the Las Vegas Review-Journal reported that the Clark County School District had an approved budget of $2.4 billion. Over $2 billion plus millions in marijuana revenue, additional marijuana tax revenue, should be enough to operate a school district. Many argue that administrators should focus on better utilizing the funds that they currently have before asking for additional tax revenue or additional taxes. Okay, I've discussed a lot of information about why we shouldn't increase taxes on casinos to fund Nevada schools. I'll sum it up for you. Today, I've tried to convince you that Nevada should not increase taxes in order to fund education. I showed you first that Nevada gaming revenue is down. Next, I explained that school districts across Nevada have administrative issues. Finally, I showed you that school districts across the state have not benefited by taxes levied on them, by taxes levied on other businesses. As heartless and greedy as opposing the funding of education may seem, we must remember that public education is funded by taxpayers and is meant to serve a purpose. It's meant to be a service to the residents and children of Nevada. When this service stops being performed, we as taxpayers must make our voices heard and stop funding. We must also hold administrators and government officials accountable. If you would like to hold your well-paid government official and school administrators accountable, I invite you to reach out to Governor Sandoval at www.gov.nevada.gov/contact the governor. As he did promise to fix the school issues across Nevada during his election campaign. Before I go today, I'd like to leave you with a quote that I found in Lily Rossman's article from a 2018 Time magazine. She quotes a speech from George Bush Sr. Before he became president. This was in 1988. And it goes something like this. Read my lips, no new taxes. Thank you.
The original transcription was
All right,
more than one.
cool.